What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex, and in this video, I want to talk about Like a Dragon, Pirate Yakuza in Hawaii. And I was very excited for this gameplay showcase. I did not think I would be this excited afterwards. How well they did, how much they blew me away. Kind of just go over my highlights. I mean, you can watch the full 13-minute video. I'm sure I'll be playing you guys, segments of it here. I want to start with maybe just the one or two kind of weirder, maybe even more negative things, and then I'll get into just all positives because this game is rapidly moving up my most anticipated list. And by the way, just to take a dig at some other games, this is like Black Flag 2. I know people are making jokes that this is the quadruple A game, not Skull and Bones. This looks about 1,000 times better than Skull and Bones, just to throw it out there. But no, okay, I want to go over just the two negatives real fast. Number one, I'm still not a fan. I'm never a fan in general of music being a part of any like extra purchase. I mean, like buying a CD or vinyl thing separately, like a collector's item, I think that's fine, but they're doing that with this. If you do the digital deluxe edition, it comes with just extra music and I think extra karaoke songs for him to sing. I'm just never been a fan of that. And then number two, while I do appreciate New Game Plus being free, it's coming as a patch afterwards, so it's not going to be in the game at launch, which, you know, is what it is. I honestly really prefer New Game Plus to be in the game when the game comes out. This is just a trend that's really gotten away from the gaming industry over the last like 5 years, but also they have put themselves in such a bad situation because they have been terrible with this in the past where you actually have had to pay for New Game Plus. So yeah, it's good that it's not being paid anymore, but the fact that you have to say that it's free and that's like a big deal now is kind of their own fault. But okay, besides that, the game looks unbelievably good. This game looks packed. That's actually the number one thing I would say I took away from this gameplay is, okay, I mean, it looks fun, right? You got the two different styles of Majima, a little classic style, and then a little bit of a new one with the Sea Dog thing. I mean, like the mythical kind of elements. It seems like there's a Kraken in this game. Not 100% sure, but it seems like it. You know, his like special abilities where he's summoning freaking sharks and jellyfish. And, you know, look, since Like a Dragon, or like 7, right? They have introduced this like, again, mystical and really kind of changed the dynamic of these games. I mean, they've always been able to be a little bit goofy while also taking them seriously, but, you know, with Ichiban and like thinking he is a superhero, right? Or like a hero in a game. And that's the whole kind of, you know, background plot thing. How it affects Majima, like you're seeing it now, right? Where he does have these special summons, and it's just, that's that weird factor that I think has allowed this series, maybe not necessarily to get better, but just to kind of expand in like different ways, right? Like they kind of maxed out in some ways in the past, and now they're able to go freaking wild, and it still kind of makes sense. Also, he's an unreliable narrator, right? Like we don't know what parts of this are even true. It seems like he's telling the story afterwards, so it's like he could just be making up 60% of the story, right? And none of this stuff, these epic ship battles, these massive fights against like 100 enemies, they might not have actually happened, so he can kind of be as crazy, or the game can be as crazy as it wants, because he's not, you know, the most reliable narrator. But content is that number one thing that, look, I mean, I don't 100% any of these games. Now I've played them kind of too close to each other, I think, to 100% them, but there's so much going on. You got multiple islands, you got multiple, like one of them is the whole kind of Coliseum of just filled with mini games and filled with basically actually like a gladiator Coliseum, just with ship battles with the different rankings. And, you know, they kind of did that towards the end of the video. The amount of stuff that you can do in this game, it's supposed to be shorter, right? It's supposed to be, what, 30% longer than The Man Who Erased His Name. So this game should only be around 20, 25, 30 hours. But it feels like in order to do everything, perfect everything, get the best crew, that was a big element in this video too, right? Like 100 or 100 plus recruits that you can actually get to your ship, and then you're trying to kind of put them in their perfect place. You have to bond with them. You have to kind of do these team activities on the sea to raise their levels to be able to battle with them, right? That is going to probably take a while. The Coliseum thing's probably going to take a while. The island where you're like rehabilitating wild animals. I mean, like what does this game not actually have, right? And then for as in-depth as these combat systems are, then you have the ship stuff. And this really, I mean, look, okay, you can dog on Skull and Bones and all this stuff all day long. The game does look really, really fun when it comes to ships. It feels like it's pretty arcadey, I would say. Like, here's the thing. These games, these spin-off Yakuza type games, they are, I imagine lower budget. There is a massive amount of like asset, reflips going on here, but they find a way to just make it so like darn likable, right? And like you want to support them. But the ship stuff looks like Black Flag, maybe a little Skull and Bones, and then just like turning the arcadey part on that up to 11. At the same time, though, like there is one clip in this gameplay where it's raining and the sea is like all like up and down, like really big waves. And I mean, like some of my best memories with Assassin's Creed Black Flag are those when you are trying to like barrel your way through a freaking huge wave where you lose sight of an enemy because a wave just hits you from the side. Like that just felt, and, it kind of feels real too, right, in that way. And that was there. Now that was there just a little bit, and I think it was overpowered by the arcadiness, right? Like there's machine guns seeming like things, on your ship. You can take control of it yourself. There's laser guns, but then, okay, well, you also combine the actual physical, hand-to-hand kind of combat, so you can sink ships or you can board them. And when you board them, that's an entirely other thing, right? You can take your companions. You saw Goro, right, the lion cub or whatever, following him around quite a bit, so that thing can come with you and go on the ship, and you can take out its captain and all that jazz. I mean, there's just so much to do in this game, but also it just all looks so much fun. And like I said, I mean, specifically that ship stuff looks like a really good mix of what we liked about Assassin's Creed Black Flag, and then with that arcadiness turned up to an 11, right, where it's a little bit more unbelievable with those laser cannons and like the specialty kind of attacks when he goes up to the very top and he's firing freaking RPGs that freeze the ship and stuff. Like, obviously you're not seeing that in other games, right? Look, when they announced it, it was a day one purchase. As when you see Majima, or it's going to be him. I mean, just generally, I'm going to buy all of these games that they make in this Like a Dragon franchise. But as we've gotten closer and closer and closer, the game just looks better and better. And it also, like I said, just looks so full. I don't know, 30 hours. Here's the thing. Ship combat and that kind of arcadiness is very, I think, addicting, or can be addicting. And again, these games can suck you up for 40, 50, 60 plus hours, depending on which game you're playing. I think I'm going to be spending a lot of time in this game. I feel like I could be one of the people that try to go for that S rank right in the Coliseum and try to get all that. I think I could do it. So, and I feel like the desire, especially for a pirate game, it's kind of a pirate game dream. It's something that I've been wanting, for a very long time, and Skull and Bones didn't do it for me, but hopefully this game can. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. Make sure, as always, you're subscribed to the channel, bell icon turned on, and I hope to see you all on the next one.